Right, let me put that. How do I get that brightness thing on? There we go. Is that better? Right, share it.
How do I see his watch hours on?
It's on TikTok Studio. You have to download it.
Well, I can't see it on YouTube.
No. Hello, guys. Watching on my TV. Oh, I'm on the big screen, Lev. I'm on the big screens, loves. Hello, loves. Don't mind me. I really don't look the best. I've been in the bath. I'm on your TikTok.
Oh, you can just tap the screen to like it on this as well.
Can you?
Yeah. I just joined your ad now.
Do you want to I don't want to add too many people as mod on here because I don't know what they can do and what.
There's 56 people in here. Everybody tap on your screen and see if it'll like.
It says there's loads of people in here for me.
I just tapped my screen and it liked. Oh no, you got 18 likes, 87 people.
Who do I? DTD UK. Hello, loves. Oh, the famous ones are here. The famous ones are here, love.
Oh, old me. Not me think said mod me.
I have anyway.
Yeah, the finger, the trolls are peak over here.
Yeah, they're so bad. They were really nasty to us. We only did a half an hour live and we had about 50 trolls.
They said that Lauren's lips hurt.
Yeah. They said push your boyfriend off the ladder.
Is that what they said?
Yeah. They said this live's boring, push him off the ladder.
Is that what they said?
That's so unkind, isn't it?
Yeah.
They were horrible to me, weren't they, Tia? Unkind.
I didn't even see that, me. That's what I mean about I don't read comments, I don't see it.
What's that?
Come on.
Wait, can I mute this? Hello, loves. Oh, whoa, wait though.
Alright.
A minute, guys. Anyway, I'm here now, guys, and this is my birth story. Don't let him fall. Oh, he was sat on top of ladders. He's been naughty.
I said that, Mum.
Yeah.
Oh, they said that they're going to push me off, Mum.
This is my birth story.
I told Lauren to push me off.
You might wouldn't do that to you. Anyway, if you want to... It's
off
uploaded as a video, isn't it? No, don't. No! No, I'm actually stuck.
You look like one of the characters of DTD UK.
James, no, mate,
Yeah.
I can't, mate. I can't breathe, my ribs are crooked.
Right.
No, leave me alone now.
She'll be right down there again.
No, that proper hurt my ribs. That is so unkind. I've got it. Go away now.
So.
No, my head's pounding. Ah. I will get to it at some point. So, this is my birth story. I don't really know what you want to know. So if there's anything you want to know while I'm talking, just comment and I will take your advice. Well, let me just brush my hair now because he's ruined it. So, the whole birth, labour, whatever you want to call it, the whole labour, we'll say, started on the 12th of August. So, my birthday being the 11th of August, me and James went away for the night. We went to stay in an apartment with a hot tub and we had the best time ever. Literally, like, I feel like it was the best night we ever spent together in our whole year of being together. So yeah, we went away for my birthday, and obviously
Tell them don't forget to fucking cross off the chat and hit the thumbs up. Smash that thumbs up.
cross the chat off and hit the thumbs up, please, guys.
Smash
Why
that
don't you
like button,
comment it
guys.
then, James? Rather than
Smash
keep
that like
interrupting me when I'm telling my story. Because now you're putting me off. Anyway, so yeah, what do you do with your other half when you're having a good time? Basically, we got down to business, and I woke up at 5 a.m. in the morning on the 12th of August, and I had the runs. I had the runs, basically. And
That's it. Cross off the chat, hit the thumbs up.
I thought I had food poisoning, and it turns out I didn't have food poisoning. I was messaging DTD mod chat, because we have a mod chat, and there's always someone awake, no matter what time in the day it is, someone's always awake. So at 5 a.m, I was speaking to Summer in the mod chat, and Auntie Anna and a few others, and they were like, Lauren, I don't want to scare you, but that's usually the sign of labour. So I was like, well, I think I've got food poisoning. They were like, don't want to scare you, whatever, you might be going into labour. So later on, as the day passed, I went back to sleep, woke up, me and James left the apartment, we went home. And as soon as I got home, I was getting really bad cramping, and I were in pain. I felt so drained, and I was just getting constant tightenings. So I was like, what the hell's going on? And then baby went like mute. She wasn't moving. I didn't feel her move for hours. She was just, I felt like she wasn't there anymore. So I was speaking to Olivia, and Olivia said, right, I'm going to take you to hospital. So Olivia and James took me to the hospital. Well, this the 12th it were, wasn't it? The night time of the 12th of August. We went to hospital and we went into triage. At triage, they said to me, they put me on the monitor to monitor baby, and they said, right, we can see you've got reduced movements. We're not going to examine you now because we don't want to risk infection, because they booked me in for a sweep the following day and to have a scan, because I had a scan for the 18th of August, but they brought it forward to the next day, so that being the 13th of August. So in triage, they said, come back tomorrow, we'll scan you and we'll give you a sweep. So we went home. Baby started wriggling around at night time, so I was a lot more reassured in my head that she were okay. So then I went to sleep, woke up the next day. Olivia said, right, I'm going to take you to triage. James had an appointment to do, so James went to his appointment, and Olivia came and picked me up, took me back to triage. Oh no, we went to the antenatal day unit actually, and had my scan in the day unit. The lady said the baby's heart rate was extremely low. Olivia noticed this in triage the night before, but I was like, I didn't know what any of that monitor means, so I was like, it didn't scare me because I didn't know. So Olivia said to me when we were in triage, that's really low. So I was like, oh God. So then the next day at the day unit, the actual sonographer said to me, her heart rate's stupid low, it was 97. So they were like, right, this is not normal. So they put me back on monitor. They seen she were okay in the scan, she were fine. They put me back on the monitor, and they said her heart rate is low, but they weren't too worried because it was dropping low but then going back to normal, and her baseline heart rate were on the lower side anyway, so they weren't too worried. So anyway, I had my sweep that day, and they said, come back tomorrow if what were it, come back, what did they say, come back tomorrow, oh no, they said come back tomorrow for another monitoring to put your mind at rest, to check that her heart rate like on the lower side for too long. So I had my sweep.
If everybody wants to watch this live, go over to YT. Lauren is live on there. It is Lauren and James Javens. Everybody go over there. She's telling the full birth story. It's 245 people there. Everybody go over to Lauren and James Javens on YT. Thanks.
Don't mind him.
So, go
on. So they said come back the next day if you want. They said come back at any time, basically. If baby's reduced movement still today or any time, come back. We'll always see you. We spoke to the specialist, and he said, I can induce you. I'll book you in for a week's time, but if you are worried at any point, come back, we'll induce you straight away. So they were like, come back tomorrow, whatever. So Olivia were like, no way. There's no way you're leaving this hospital. No way. So this was the 13th of August. Olivia went to see the specialist and said, oh no, that was when I went for the sweep.
I'm not sure.
That can't be right. Because I had the sweep the day after the scan. And then... oh no, yeah, stayed in. Olivia said, we're not leaving. We're not leaving this hospital, no way. So what happened then was Olivia went to see the specialist and she said, she's not leaving. Her heart rate's too low and we're really worried. So he said, right, okay, let me just go and speak to someone. Anyway, they came back and said, right, we can induce you today. We've moved your induction forward. So a couple of hours passed and they put me on a ward where they said that James couldn't stay with me. So James came up to hospital and met us there, and basically they'd give me an extra long sweep, like she were in there for about 5 minutes. And what? No, she weren't. It were bad. It were bad. Olivia were holding me hand. It were actually terrible. She were in there for ages.
I want to see the live, guys. Go over to YT. Lauren is live over there. Lauren and
I've got a really short attention span and it keeps putting me off.
So
yeah, anyway, after the sweep, they put me on the ward. They said, we can induce you, but there's no one allowed to stay. So James had to come up to hospital and there were only one person allowed to stay with me. So we were like alternating between you and Olivia, weren't we? So I had to stay there that night on my own, but they came in just before visitors had to leave and said, we can't give you a balloon because she's bobbing in and out of your cervix, which she was completely in my cervix, and then all of a sudden she wasn't. So when they gave me a sweep, they could feel the baby's head were bobbing, so she were in and out of my cervix. And then they said, you're putting me off.
Totally.
Do you want to be in camera?
No.
No, come over.
I don't want to be in camera, baby.
So what are you doing there then?
I was looking to see how many people you had in, love.
So anyway, so they said they couldn't give me a balloon.
They couldn't.
Alright, they couldn't give me a balloon because of the baby were bobbing in and out my cervix. They couldn't give me a pessary because my body were already... James, what are you doing? You're putting me off, you really are. I'm not doing it in a minute.
Over to YT, guys.
I'm not doing it in a minute, it's winding me up.
Go on, carry on, love.
I can't concentrate as it is and I'm already forgetting stuff.
Right, all of you, carry on, love.
Please stop.
No, stop.
And they couldn't give me a pessary because my body were already contracting and they didn't want to put the baby into shock or something. So they said, they said my cervix after my sweep, I was, what were I? 2 centimetres?
I think so.
She said 2 centimetres, but it could be 3, but she don't like to push it or something. So she said I were about 2 centimetres.
2 centimetres free at a push.
Yeah. So I didn't need to be induced in that sense. I just needed to wait for a bed on the labour ward, which little did we know were going to take 2 days. So yeah, I was waiting for a bed on the labour ward for them to break my waters because they could just straight away break them. I didn't need a pessary, I didn't need a balloon, I didn't need any of that. So I had to stay on my own that first night, and then James came to the hospital at 7 o'clock in the morning and they let you on the ward at 7. He came at 5 to 7, they wouldn't let him in. Would they? So he was fuming. So he came back, he left the hospital at the last second and came back first thing in the morning. And then they allowed him to stay with me the next day because my anxiety was so bad being there. What first night me and James have ever spent apart in the whole time we've ever met. So from the first day of ever meeting him till now, that was the first night we ever spent apart. So my anxiety were really bad. So they gave us a side room and allowed James to sleep at the hospital with me the following night. We then went to sleep that day because literally nothing happened the second day when we were there. Nothing changed. And we're only getting monitored every now and again. They wouldn't check my cervix. The monitor wasn't picking anything up. So nothing were really changing. It was just literally just a waiting game to wait for a bed on the labour ward for me to have my waters bust. So yeah, that night we stayed and they woke us up at 6 a.m. and said, right, we've got a bed on the labour ward. It's go time. So we packed all the stuff up. We went down to labour ward and we met as midwife. They put my canlier in because I needed some antibiotics. They put my canlier in and then we met as midwife. We had to wait for the doctors and the surgeons to come around to meet the surgeon just in case I had to go in for emergency C-section. I had to meet the surgeons and whatnot so they could speak to me. I don't know. So we met them. And then by what time were it? We had to wait until about 11:30 they said, didn't they? I think James was ignoring me and I needed that.
You said that all winding you up.
Yeah, but I'm asking you a question. You were there as well. We're at 11:30.
Yeah.
I don't even think it were 11:30. Anyway, what time did they bust my waters?
1 o'clock. 1 o'clock.
We're at 1 o'clock. Did they say 11:30 then we had to go back out, didn't we? Do you remember? They said be back for 11:30, I'm sure they did. Then they said we have to go again and then come back. And when we got back, they bust my waters. Can't remember if it were 12:30 or 1 o'clock. Anyway, so they bust my waters and I got really tired, really fast. So when they bust your waters, you have to try and be active to try and promote labour, to try and get your contractions started and stuff. So they recommend you get on ball. As soon as they bust my waters, I went straight to sleep. I wasn't allowed to eat. I wasn't allowed to drink. I wasn't allowed to go out. I wasn't allowed to do anything. So first thing I did is thought, fuck this shit, I'm off to sleep. I went to sleep. They woke me up at 3 o'clock and said, there's nothing happening. We're going to have to give you an hormone drip. So they put me on the hormone drip and I think after 5 minutes, I were in excruciating pain. The first 5 minutes were just like, oh yeah, I can handle this. The first time in the whole time I were in hospital is when I were like, I need some fucking pain relief. I was taking pain relief because they were recommending that I take it. But this was the first time I said, no, I need some pain relief and I need it now. So they put me straight on gas and air. I did not know what I was doing. Tell me why I did not know what I was doing. I was not taking it properly. I wasn't breathing through it properly. It was making me feel funny. I was crying my eyes out. I was like, I fucking hate gas and air. I need something different. And then James were like talking me through how to breathe through the gas and air. By this point, I were in fucking agony. And at one point, they said to James, turn the hormone drip off. The baby does not like it. She's in too much pain. My body was contracting like 3 times more than it should have done in the 10-minute period. So what did they say? How many times should I have contracted, James?
Right.
Oh, shut up.
How many times did you contract?
He's ignorant. He wanted to be all involved and now I don't want to answer my questions.
Yeah,
I were off my head on gas and air, I can't remember.
Alright, so what did you say? How many what?
When they put me on hormone drip, how many times should I have been contracting?
Oh, I didn't know that.
So how many times were I contracting when you had to turn it off?
Yeah, I think it's 3 and 10, isn't it? 3 and 10 minutes or something like that.
And what were I doing?
3 and 10.
Oh, shut up, James, don't really on about. Oh my god.
I can't remember that, babe.
Anyway, they had to tell him to turn it off because it were causing the baby a lot of stress. Her heart rate was dropping stupidly low. And you know when something's going on, but I was out of it on gas and air at this point. I could not tell you my own name. So I knew something was going on though. I had a feeling and everyone were talking for 1 minute and then they were silent, but they weren't silent, they were whispering. And I knew something wasn't right and I looked up and all I can remember is seeing James's face, like as if to say, are we going to have a C-section or what's going to happen here? Anyway, he turned the hormone drip down and things started to get a bit more normal. I then said, I need something stronger than gas and air. This is not covering my pain. It's just making me feel like shit. I was snotting. I was dry mouth. I sounded like Darth Vader. I absolutely hated it. I said, please give me something else. So she asked me, do I want diamorphine or pethidine? And then she said she thinks for my situation that pethidine would have been better because diamorphine has more of an effect on the baby. So they gave me pethidine, and I think it was literally about an hour after they gave me the pethidine she was born. I was not pushing for long at all. I was laid there and I was like, I knew. I said to Lisa, James, please. He's really winding me up. I'm not doing this ever again. I was laid there and I was like, I said to Lisa, please, 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 will you tell her to check my cervix because I need a poo, basically. And she was like, she needs a poo, she needs a poo. So the midwife was like, I'll check you to put your mind at ease, but you're not ready yet. And then she looked and she went, oh, baby's head's there. She's not got a lot of hair. And all I can remember is looking down and seeing her hands like that inside me. And it's an image it's an image that'll never go from my head. It's very strange. Like, my first birth, I remember nothing because I was completely out of it. Like, they gave me codeine and I'm allergic to codeine, so my whole birth were a blur. Can't remember it. So, yeah, this time round were a lot different. I can remember it. I was seeing stuff. I were, like, alert. And then, yeah, it were bad. So, basically, when I was pushing, there were, like, a button on my elbow and I was pressing it and I was lifting myself up, like my bed were going up, 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 and midwife were like, she needs to go down, she needs to go down, and I'm crying saying, I need to go down, and everyone were blaming Lisa because Lisa were at this side of me, but it wasn't Lisa, it was me. And I was moving bed up and up and up and I was like folding myself up while baby's head were out. It was terrible. But yeah, James were absolutely amazing. Lisa were absolutely amazing. They said, like, you need to calm down because I was getting through it fine, and then when a contraction caught me off guard, I'd scream. But I want a screamer. Like, I'm not a screamer. But when a contraction caught me off guard and I'd not held my breath, all I knew, all what were going to happen is I was going to scream, and they were like, shh, shh. And then, yeah, it were a bit embarrassing. But, yeah, she came out at 5 o'clock. And they put me on the hormone drip at 3. So within 2 hours, she was born. And it were absolutely amazing experience. But I had a few grazers, but they said if they stitched me, then it'd only make it more painful. They weren't that deep and they weren't that bad, so there were no need for them to be stitched. And yeah, my recovery were amazing. But when she was born, because I'd only just had the pethidine, I think I'd had the pethidine about an hour before she was born. When she came out, I were oblivious. I was laid there, completely numb, eyes closed. People were talking to me, but I was responding in my head. I weren't responding out loud. So I were all there in my head. I knew what were going on, but my body would not move. It was like I were having a sleep paralysis. I was completely paralysed. My body would not move. All that were happening were tears streaming down my face because I was crying to let people know that I were upset because I couldn't tell people. Like, Lisa kept coming over and asking me, like, are you going to bond with baby? Like, is this you saying you don't want to bond with baby? Like, everyone were panicking, thinking, even James were like, I don't think she's going to bond with baby. It were not to do with me bonding with the baby. It were everything to do with pethidine knocking me for 6. I could not move. So James took her, had her weighed, dressed her, brought her back over to me, and by that point I was still there. Olivia were bringing me a cup of tea. Lisa had made me a cup of tea. Olivia were passing it to me. Could not lift my arms up. It was so bad. But when time had passed and the pethidine were wearing off, then that's when my time started. Like, it were amazing. It were really amazing. And then Olivia took me for my first wee. That were absolutely fine. Everyone goes on about your first wee. No. It's every wee after your first wee. I
I
think.
took you for your first week, huh?
No, Olivia did.
Swear I did.
Olivia did.
I know I did.
Olivia did. Ask her.
I did.
No, you didn't, mate.
Maybe I did.
Baby, you didn't.
Oh,
The first time I stepped out of bed were with Olivia. Promise you now.
Right.
Yeah, I can assure you.
Well, your second one with me.
Yeah, potentially. Oh no, you took me for a shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why is no one blocking this alley? Why is no one blocking him? No, I won't take a breath and listen to you. Fuck off. I'm not on TikTok. I probably shouldn't react to that, should I?
Yeah, you can do. You'll be alright now.
What is peffidin? I don't know.
You can say what you want on here, babe. It's wireless.
No, but it's pointless, isn't it? Because
Tell him to go and fuck himself.
I had a
And his mother. With a
Terrible.
fucking chopstick.
Alright, shut up then.
I'll ring my mate, Mr. Mean. Sorry, love.
I'm just thinking, because when people watch this back as a video,
Oh, yeah.
they're not going to understand what we're on about.
Oh.
Because they can't see your comments.
Oh.
I can't remember where I were now. Oh, yeah. So, I had my first week, that was fine. Lisa and Olivia went home, and then it was just me, James and baby, and that's when your bubble really starts. So, I was asleep. James let me sleep. He had the baby. We were absolutely besotted with her. When I woke up, he had a smile from ear to ear, just cuddling her. I breastfed her, believe it or not, even though we're off my face on peffidin. I gave her a first feed. I don't remember it, but I did. You can see on pictures how gone I were. There's certain pictures that I haven't uploaded, but I will show you one day. But yeah, I were in a bad way. But I still gave her a first feed, and she didn't really want the boob, to be honest. So she is bottle fed now. And she's now 7.5 weeks old. But yeah, it was an amazing experience. They took us from the labour ward at like 10:30 at night and put us back on the ward that we came from. They allowed James to stay with me, but we were on a ward and that's not really allowed. So they were like, he can't be loud, he can't be seen, like keep him under wraps because every other mother will be jealous. Which I really appreciated because my anxiety is terrible. So yeah, we had a takeaway to the hospital and we went back up to the ward. Every single baby on that ward screamed all night. Ours didn't make one noise, did she? It were amazing. She did not cry for about 2 weeks of her life. She never cried once, not one cry. We knew when she wanted feeding, but she never cried. And that night, we had no sleep. We had our first sleepless night because every other child in that hospital was screaming the fucking hospital down. Like, seriously, if it wasn't one, it was other. I don't know how people have multiple babies because, oh my God, it was so bad. So bad. And then the next morning, we had her hearing test done, her full newborn test and stuff. Can people be blocking these accounts, please, guys? Like, I have got moderators in here. I don't know why people are not blocking them. And this one, I'm doing myself. So yeah, it were a bad night, but not for the sake of our own baby. But they came, did all of the checks in the morning, and they discharged us the afternoon. And when we brought her home, it were like, what the fuck? What do we do now? It were just so amazing. So amazing. James, the next day, where were you, James? Oh, you were with your dad. The first full day of having her at home, James went to go see his dad. His dad were a bit unwell, so he went with his dad, and I had her on my own for a full day. and she was 1 day old. And I went to Tesco's. I went to Big Tesco, bumped into Samantha, didn't I, lovey? And I did a food shop. Baby was 1 day old. Anxiety was through the roof, but these things you have to tackle. And yeah, every day for about 2 weeks, Lisa came to my house, did my washing, cleaned my house, bathed the baby, because it's tradition in the family, Lisa baths babies. She did our cooking. She made my cups of tea. She made sure all my appointments and everything were done. She did everything. She were absolutely amazing. I don't know if I'd have got through them first few weeks, especially with the lack of sleep and the pain I were in with my boobs and everything else. I don't know, I would have got through any of it without James's family. Because my family were completely absent, as usual. You truly do belong in this family. I agree. You did, Babs. I felt so honoured to see you. You looked so well. To be honest, looking back now, I looked really fat. But that's because I'm tiny now. I weigh 8.5 stone. And I was 12 stone when I was pregnant. I know, she's 7.5 weeks old and she's still never been shown. Still never been shown. I thought I'd have caved by now, but she's too precious to have her. I have an uncensored Snapchat story of baby girl. And it's got like 5 viewers. So if you're one of them 5, then you're fucking very lucky. Very lucky. But yeah, that was the birth story. I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to know that I didn't tell you, or if you expected something that I didn't say, then I'm sorry. And I can add it if you want me to. She is absolutely beautiful, no. She's like a dolly. She's a bit naughty now though. Cried when I saw her, I know, yeah. Was you full term? I was 38 weeks and 5 days, Leah. So with both of my babies, I was 38 weeks, 5 days. Both pregnancies, I gave birth on the 38 weeks and 5 days mark. And Adelaide was £6.12. Enzo were £5.14. So quite a big difference, really. So yeah, she was £6.12. She only lost 50 grams of her birth weight, and she is now a whopping £12. She's on serious bottles. She's never had less than 5 ounces the whole time she's been alive. Like, I think for the first few days she was maybe on 2 ounce, but my girl is hungry, and she has 7 ounces. And she's had 7 ounces for the past 4 weeks. So, yeah, she's hungry. Guys, if you haven't already, will you like the stream? Because there's been 300 people in here. There's only 100 likes. I'm trying to get my watch hours up as well, so we can complete our tasks. But thank you all so much for being here and listening. People have been messaging me saying, are you doing it? Are you doing it? And it probably wasn't what you were expecting. And James puts me off a lot, because I've got really short attention span. And one little thing, even if I can see my own reflection or something, it puts me off. Why is it saying that everyone said hi? Is it just because someone's waved or something? Because every person that I can see it says hi. Are you alright?
Yeah, I'm just chatting to
You're
my
breathing
mate.
very heavy.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm getting old now. I'm all 30-year-old man. You know, my old fat, my old ribs, it pushes on me old.
Oh my god. Don't say you're old. I don't like
I'm
that.
old, love.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's normal to only remember bits of your birth. I can't remember anything from my first birth, really, because I don't remember the pain.
Right, if I live my life again, I'll need a Zimmer frame. I already lived. If I live that again, I will need a Zimmer frame to
You
walk
don't see your
about.
dad with a Zimmer frame, James, and he's 60.
Yeah, I know, but my dad had done what I've done. Even my dad stands over with his feet up all his life. I've been a grafter, mate.
I had no medication though. Then that's probably it. Pain. Pain can make you black out. Or being overwhelmed can make you black out. I'm the same. Layla Fraser's, I only remember a full bit. I can't even read. Three and a half months weighing a stone. Oh, I don't know what that means. But I'm going to go now anyway, guys, because I'm tired. But thank you all for listening. And if there's anything else you want to know, let me know. And I'm sure I can do another part or something.
Part 2, birth story.
There's no else to add though, really, I don't think. I think I've said everything.
Yeah.
There's a fucking fly. But yeah, I'm going now. Goodbye, guys.